Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Neg Primer. We are playing Kerbal Space Program. So since last episode, I did a little bit of research, and basically what I was doing wrong is that you can affect your pitch and yaw and all that. So the biggest mistake I was making is thinking max parts 30. So the biggest mistake I was making is thinking that I couldn't change all of that. So we're gonna go ahead and rebuild probably just pretty much the same spaceship. We'll even do the same. Or you know what, I'm forgetting the science module. Science. Wait. Science. Okay. Not really sure what to do about the antennas yet. So now that we got that, one of these days I'm gonna have to remember where all the different pieces are stored. Okay. Okay, I was trying to figure out how to zoom out. So we're gonna do 4. Good full engine. Alright, so we're gonna do that. We're going to do we're gonna add these onto the side like we have in the past. And add these types of engines. This music. Most part I'm enjoying this music actually. So yeah, like I said, I did actually quite a bit of research. I watched some other people's YouTube videos, and just basic stuff. They were doing the exact same thing I was doing. They just had actually played through the tutorials, is what it amounted to. So I really could have I actually probably would have gotten better information by paying attention to the tutorials, because I still don't really know what I'm doing. I know that I can affect pitch and yaw, so I'm gonna try this once, and if I can't figure it out, then I'm going to okay. So we fire those rockets, then we separate, then we fire that rocket, then we separate. It's the parachute. Okay. There wasn't anything I'm missing, right? But yeah, so we'll give this one shot, and if it doesn't work, then I'll go do the tutorial. I was trying to see how far I could get without doing the tutorial. Oh yeah. Okay. It's just straight up. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. I'm kind of in control. Okay, but that was the right concept. I just need to do a better job. And see, the people I were watching had extra stuff out over here. Oh! Wow, yeah, I lose control completely once I hit that. See, yeah, like I said, the people I were watching had extra dials over here for like autopilot and different things. And okay, so that's rotate. That is spin wildly out of control. Okay. Not even touching anything anymore. It's still just rocking back and forth. Alright, well, we're out of fuel. Sure. Let's just do it all. I don't think I'm ever gonna accomplish much. Toggle torque. So maybe I will go do... There goes that. Maybe I will go do those tutorials. She's super happy down here. That stuff is still falling. Hello, weird graphical glitch. There's my shadow. I wonder how you... because they were also hotkeying this stuff up over here. And they were going a lot faster than 4x. Oh, that was super shaky. But we survived. We got nothing. Alright, so we're gonna back out. Yeah, I'm aiming to get to the moon eventually. One of the things I was watching was actually about orbiting 101. Science basics was basically about how to actually get to the moon. And it was about how to rotate around the moon. These go into docking, attacking two ships with one another in space. So yeah, apparently you can do that and actually build extra big spaceships in outer space, so that you can go on missions to Jupiter and all that, or the equivalent of Jupiter. Docking, walk you through the process of catching an asteroid. Actually catch an asteroid, so it's redirecting an asteroid. So I could crash an asteroid into Kerbal. Let's start with construction basics. Okay, we're back with Werner von Kerman. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. Whether you want to put a satellite into orbit, fly a transcontinental flight, or step onto the very surface of the moon, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like myself. First part required in any vessel construction is a command module. This part will either contain a plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. Oh, cool. Select a command module from the parts list. Well, there's not much to choose from, but go ahead and add that component. There we go. Interesting choice. It's not what a famous Kerbal rocket scientist like me would have chosen, but you're just starting, so you don't have that many parts available. If you ever need to move the vessel around the screen, you can pick it up by clicking on the root part. Moving the vessel up will allow you to fit more parts beneath it. Also, if you ever need more information on a specific part, just hover over the mouse. Just hover the mouse cursor above it. Wow, that's weird. Just hover the mouse cursor above it in the toolbox on the left, right-clicking it. We'll give it more information. Just hover over the mouse cursor above it in the toolbox on the... Oh, so he's saying when I hover over it like this, or when I right-click it. That's just really worded really weird. Next thing we need is fuel. Some fuel to burn. Well, select the only fuel tank on the left. You really need to start researching. You're missing out on all the cool parts. I'll explain science and research to you later. Anyway, click the fuel tank to select it, then attach to the bottom of the ship. Yep, I've been doing that. Yep. Oh, did I? I think it just knocked it off. Getting the hang of this. Let's add a rocket. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all this. You may have noticed a new icon on the lower right called the stage. Parts that have triggered these actions. Yep. Some parts designed to be attached to the surfaces. A decoupler. Attach some of these decouplers. You can lose it to. After you attach them, also try connecting some fuel boosters to get those decouplers. Okay, so fuel boosters. Pay attention to the stages. Your ship could always use more boosters. 4 is fine for now. Your ship looks interesting. If you want to modify the order in which parts are activated during flight, let's actually split these up. Into... right. Oh, nope, not like that. We want which one? We want that one down here. So we want these top two up here, and this one we want here. Okay, yes. If you want to see the matters of the centers of mass, thrust, lift. Should probably bring to your attention that if you just started your space career, you don't have any decouplers. Yeah, I noticed. So he just wants us to give it a name. We're gonna call it the Poopy Pie. Because I'm mature. Oh, so, okay. That's literally all that one was. I thought he was gonna have us build and then send it up. Flight basics. Yep. So go over flight basics, and that'll hopefully teach me how to actually use the WASD controls. See, they're doing that here. They call this, apparently this is called something like asparagus shooting or something like that, where you can see they have these yellow fuel lines attached. So it'll use all of the fuel in this one and then detach and then use all the fuel in this one. That's one of the things I was watching on that'll help you get to the moon. But this time we're with Gene Kerman. Teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you already checked the basic construction. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a very chaotic situation. No kidding. As a pilot, your main controls will affect the pitch, roll, and yaw. Let's look at this first. Pitch is the angle of the nose in relation to the horizon. So W and S will change if I'm pointing towards the ground or not. Oh, and then you can see pitch and yaw. Okay, I didn't even notice all these down here. And then that's yaw, which is the rotation of the ship around its vertical axis. So side-to-side motion of the ship's nose. And then roll is, yeah, these is Q and E. WS, so it's, I mean, it is WASD controls, basically. I got that part. The throttle. So here's how we can control the throttle. Note that the throttle will only affect engines that can be throttled, like liquid engines, solid boosters, like liquid engines, period. Solid boosters don't have any throttle control and will burn out top capacity until their fuel runs out. Okay, so liquid engines. Holding the ship at full throttle over a long period of time will cause the engines to overheat and will eventually explode if the heat isn't managed. Throttle up and throttle down is shift and control. Z and X are max and cutoff. So throttle up, throttle down. Okay. But I can only control... I don't think I can control individual ones. Crash-free flights. Heavier ships will respond more sluggishly. Yep. It's good to keep in mind that stage is separated from the ship. It'll be lighter and easier to control. The rest of flight controls. SAS Stability Augmentation System. Although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around, using the computer-controlled auto-torque drive compensator to counteract. SAS can be activated momentarily by holding the F key or toggled by hitting the T key. So F and T. It's also worth noting that a skilled pilot doesn't need to rely on an SAS module to keep the ship steady. Well, I do. Jerk. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm most definitely not a skilled pilot. RCS, reaction control system, small thrusters that that will help control the ship's orientation and translation. Can be activated by pressing R. Okay, so that's how you turn the SAS system on, and then R will turn on the RCS system. I don't know what that... I still don't really understand what the difference between these two is. For the RCS to do anything, you must have RCS thrusters and monopropellant tanks installed. Particularly useful when you're out in space, as aerodynamic control surfaces tend to not work very well outside the atmosphere. All the planning you put into the staging sequence of your ship comes into practice. From launch, the final deployment of your... Space, yeah. Important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented and where it's going. A good part, always aware of the ship's attitude, as it's called, and its velocity vector. The big round instrument on the lower device is called the nav ball. The device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose. Yep, that's the nose. In relation to the horizon, as well as its heading, compass. Oh, it's heading, compass bearing, and speed. Speed is this. This is throttle. Okay. G-forces over here. You also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity. We'll have a look at those later. Okay. Flight instruments. On the upper part, you have your altimeter, vertical speed, altimeter, and atmosphere. The altimeter will show the distance to the planet's surface at sea level. The actual surface may be higher up, so watch out for the ground. Vertical speed gauge shows how fast your altitude is changing. When launching, it is considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. The atmosphere gauge indicates how deep this planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. They're the crew. Keep them alive. If you press M, it'll bring up the map view. So that's outer space. You can do things like find the moon, and then find the other planets. Okay. Enough talk, I'll unlock all the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. All the controls except one. You will not be able to use the SAS control. Dang it. That's the one I needed, you jerk. Try to keep the ship steady yourself. At any time you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu you can restart or end the tutorial. Set your throttle to the max. To the max. And hit space. For this particular ship you'll need to do it twice. Once to start the engines, and once more to release the clamps. Now try practicing all the controls. Picture. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't get too carried. Keep the ship steady because you're going to space today. Oh, I should have been dumping these stages as it went. I wasn't paying enough attention. But alright. Oh, I think it's cutting a little bit too. We don't want to go up that fast, ship. We don't want to go straight up. So we can cut the throttle down. Yeah, these controls. Oops! I didn't mean to do that, actually. That didn't actually seem to do anything anyways. It's still burning, I just have no control over it, because I knocked that, but it's still pushing against it, I think. Now's a good time to steer towards the horizon. I don't think I really have all that much control right now, because I separated this and it's still burning and pushing me out. We'll turn on the RCS out of the thickest part of the atmosphere. So if we go to map view now, is this me? Oh, that's the whole thing. I'm still zoomed way out. So this is me. This is the course I'm taking. So you can see these little fuel things. Trying to aim up a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, I accidentally knocked this loose, and I'm pretty sure it's been disconnected from me. Because the next stage I have is that. Oh, there we go. And now I am spinning out of control. Okay. Okay. Nope, let's... this is tricky. Because the controls aren't what you think they are. Close your orbit. What is my orbit? I don't know. You're now officially in space, but this is no time to celebrate. If you don't close your orbit, for now, trust me, press X to stop your engines. X. I don't think I needed to do that. Click the AP symbol. Say warp here. Once there, turn your ship prograde and burn at full throttle. Am I still in control? I don't know if I'm even still in control. No, I'm not. Oh, because it's maybe because time is warping, and so it's not going to give me control. So let's turn our ship prograde, which I think means aim for the yellow. Oh no. Yeah, these controls are gonna take some getting used to. Oh, why didn't that burn? Oh no! That was I was trying to burn that. Oh, God. Okay, because my throttle was all the way down. Well, this guy's lost in space forever, I think. Oh no, he's gonna crash back into the planet. That's cool. Let's warp. How? Like I said, when I was watching this earlier, there was a way people were warping a lot faster than this. We're at like 4x speed. That must be the moon. Or no, that's the moon. That's another planet. Okay. Well, we're going in the right direction. I have no idea how good the heat shields are on this, but there might be way too much friction considering it's just white right here now. Holy cow, this is not gonna end well. I'm not nearly steep enough. Oh, and there goes my parachute. Now deploys. Yep. I tell you what, I'm actually going to revert to launch. I want to get this thing in effective orbit. The trick is remembering. Oh no, wait! You're going the wrong way, ship! You're going the wrong way! What happens there? Oh, because my throttle wasn't all the way up. There's a lot of things to remember with this. So, throttle up. Oh, I can't throttle all the way up yet. See? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to mess with the pitch just a tad. We should have done that sooner. Second stage. See, we're starting to get a lot of work done. C key. Oh, cool. So yeah, this is first person for my Kerbal. Okay. Alright, so now let's cut down on the throttle. We're not gonna stop the throttle quite yet. See, I'm not quite in space yet. Or in orbit. Oh. Yeah, and it's hard because it's a button, so it's an on-off thing. There's not trajectory. Press X to stop your engines. Click the AP. Click the AP symbol. Say warp here. Once there, turn your ship prograde. And burn at full throttle. If you run out of fuel in the middle, get out of map view, activate the next stage, and get back. Okay, so once this gets there, okay, well, it doesn't show me. Ah, see, look, all the little fins are flapping. Dum de dum dum dum. Oh, we're turning the wrong way. Everything turns the opposite direction from where you want it to go. So up is down, right is left. Okay. Oh, I did the same thing again. Okay. Well, we're headed. We need to. Oh, stop flipping out. We're gonna try to use this smaller booster to, crap. Why do I feel like we're just gonna ram into those mountains? This is not effective at all. Go away. Nope. Okay, so you can't. I'm terrible at this. I waited too long. He's telling you to wait until you get to that point. But you really need to. Okay. Let's do this again. You really need to organize your direction that you're facing before you get there. Okay. So yeah, I'm starting to understand the controls and everything a little bit better now. Some weird noises we're making here. See, and that's getting longer and longer. We're getting a lot of friction. We don't want that because that'll burn up our... Is that our parachute? Yeah. Oh, no! I hit the wrong button. Point your ship where the blue and orange parts of the nav ball meet. And he says press X to cut it here. The problem is I keep forgetting that I've just cut it, and I keep trying to hit spacebar. In order to restart it. So we're going to try to aim at that yellow thing before we do anything. See, now it comes in with the music. Still haven't really determined what the RCS is. The T1 is the one I want. Okay. Look at that, that's a lot better than I've been getting. We're gonna warp a little bit before it. Because see, we're already drifting way off course. So we need to go up. And, oh, nope, 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 nope. We need to burn now. No! I did it again! Let's burn with this one. See, it's getting bigger and bigger. Prograde is the one that looks like that. Okay. We're getting there. Despite me messing up. I still have a good amount of fuel too, so I can break this. And... Yep, cut that. We're in stable orbit. It's not quite a circle, but it looks like we're not going to ram into the ground anytime soon. So that's it for today. Well done. So, what I would normally do here is, yeah, there aren't even any science things on this. Well, okay, that only took 45 minutes to figure out how to do that. But cool. So now if we want to get back down... we want to head just slightly down. Oh, it's going... The problem is it's three-dimensional movement! Okay. Stop. Okay. Do we aim towards the blue to get down? Because that's like down, down. Yeah, see, that's pointing directly at the ground. Which, that's fine, we have momentum built up, so maybe that is what it wants me to do. Oh, I keep hitting spacebar to fire rockets. And that's not the case. Well, okay. Congratulations, buddy, you hit orbit. That's actually what that mission was about. So... I don't really know what the pink one is. Oh. Okay. In scenario. Okay, so that gives me a little bit of control. So that was Flight Basics, Orbiting 101, Raising and Lowering Apopsis and Parapsis nodes. Start off in circular orbit. Let's do it. We're already in orbit in this one. Yeah. Welcome to Orbiting 101. Teach you the basics of orbiting. Let's make sure you've done the past things. Yeah, the whole orbiting freefall thing is a little bit misleading, because that's what orbiting is. I mean, that's the whole thing is gravity. The idea is that gravity is constantly pulling in on you. You're just moving in the circle fast enough that you never hit the ground. We're currently on a low, almost circular orbit around Kerbal. To get a better view of the situation, press M. Bam. That's my orbit right there. Look at how perfect this orbit is. It's around 199. So yeah, they are a little bit off. That's the apoapsis, and that's the periapsis. Map view. Here you can see. Hold right click and move the mouse to look around. See your orbit. Close the map when you're ready to move forward. Let's get practical now. Up here they're very much the same, only that the lack of an atmosphere basically makes the ship behave quite a bit differently. Because there's no drag slowing you down, for every input you apply you'll simply have to apply an opposite one. Yep. Remotely nudge your altitude controls. Try to get the ship back under control. If you find yourself totally out of control, hit T. Oh, let's stop the spin, for starters. Still rotating. You know, that way. Oh, he wants me to come to a complete stop? That's gonna be hard. Okay. Altitude controls a master it. Attitude control. You can try it again. We're ready. I don't want to try that again. Oh, here, this is what's actually going to tell. So it's green up here, but it's yellow down here. Prograde and retrograde point towards and away from your velocity vector, respectively. Towards the points to and away from where you're going. The radial in and out point towards and away from the current orbited body. Okay, so it is just flat out, like here's the Earth and here's the sky. And then the purple ones, pink ones, whatever color that is, normal and anti-normal vectors. They are perpendicular to the orbital plane. They point upwards and downwards with respect to the orbital plane, respectively. I don't really know what that means, but okay. Open your map again. What we want to do now is go through some of the basic maneuvers that you'll need. Let's try raising your Apioasis. I don't know how that word is pronounced. Highest point in the orbit is marked by AP. We're here, yay, we're going towards the periapsis, which is the lowest point. The best place to raise your Apioasis is at the periapsis. Jesus. This terminology. I need a pronunciation guide. Which is the lowest point of your orbit. If you hover the mouse over the periapsis node, you'll see that we are going to reach it in a few minutes. Yep, about 4 minutes. Once there, we will face prograde and burn. Press period to speed up time a little bit. Oh, okay. Time is now passing so many times faster. There's so much reading to do, and I gotta do it before I get here. You can control time warp with the period and comma keys, or click the arrows on the panel on the top screen. This time I'll put us back to normal just before we reach the periapsis. Out of training, you'll have to warp time down to 1, so don't go too fast or you might miss your mark. You can also click on any given point to warp on your orbit. Brah, so much reading. Okay. Bam. Okay, a few seconds away from the periapsis now. Time to prograde and do our burn. However, instead of closing the map, let's just bring up the nav ball so we can see what's happening here. So if we do that and just click on the prograde, it'll automatically orient us towards it. Oh, see, so much easier, so much easier. We're now toward prograde. Check SAS is engaged for you to keep her steady, plus the Z key to accelerate at full throttle. The opposite side of your orbit starts to rise as you accelerate. Keep thrusting until it's about 800,000 meters. So it's going to be a big lopsided one. It doesn't know what to do with the audio while I'm zooming in and out like that. Okay. I think it was basically saying hit X to stop there. I don't know what it skipped over. That's how you raise your Apioasis node. Apoapsis? Whatever. Pretty much everything you do will affect the opposite side of your orbit, so raise the highest point. You thrust forward at the lowest point. Similarly, to raise your periapsis, you thrust prograde at Apioapsis. We're on our way to the Apioapsis now, so let's just do that. Press next when you're ready, and I'll warp time to get us there quickly. We're on our way. Notice how your ship loses its speed as we rise. Yep, it is losing speed. Because we're climbing away from the planet, so we would lose speed as we go higher, just as you would if you were climbing a hill back here on Kerbin. The higher you are, the slower your orbit will be. Notice how around Moon's orbital speed is around... sure? 540, while yours is far higher. We will burn prograde again in order to reach the periapsis node and circularize our orbit. Okay, same as before, turn your ship to face prograde. Shape to face prograde. Mind that we are probably now turned the other way right now, so the prograde vector might not be visible. No, it's still visible. Once you're facing the right direction, fire up those engines. Keep burning prograde until the orbit is nearly circular. Eccentricity will be at 0. So that in order to make a larger orbit, we need to do here and then go to the other side. Oh, what? He didn't tell me to stop, but I am assuming I should. This is how you change the size of your orbit. This maneuver should come in handy in major situations. Yeah, I hope you all like reading me, hearing me read logs, because that's going to be all these couple episodes are going to be. Orbital inclination is the angle your orbit makes to Kerbin's equator. Okay. If you manage to maintain a reasonable amount of control so far, we should still be in a nearly 0 inclination point. That is, even though we've changed the altitude of our orbit, it still has some inclination as before. Changing inclination is done by thrusting in 90 degrees to your prograde vector, but without changing your pitch relative to the surface. On our present nearly equatorial orbit, prograde is due east. That means to decrease our inclination so that orbit takes us higher latitudes, we have to burn towards the normal direction. So it's going to have us change to normal. Thank you. If all that I said just made your head spin, yes it did. Then the half-ball once again comes to your rescue to change your orbital inclination. In this case, you will need to use the normal vector. Yes, I understood that word. Let's try that now. Turn the ship normal vector and open the throttle. Notice how as you burn north, your orbit starts to tilt up. Oh yeah, it is. It's going like that. Keep accelerating towards the normal until your inclination is about 10. Good, this is how you change your orbital inclination. For these maneuvers, it's always better to do so in the slowest parts of orbit, so you don't have to spend as much delta V to turn your orbit around. That also means inclination changes on larger orbits, such as we are on now, take less fuel than the same inclination change on a lower one. Also, keep in mind that changing the inclination doesn't necessarily mean accelerating to the north or south, it means accelerating on 90-degree headings to your prograde vector, which on our nearly equatorial orbit also happen to be north. So what they're saying there is that if I were to do it now, it wouldn't be directly north, it would be up over this way instead. And if I were going up and down like that, then it would be horizontal, I believe. My brain is honestly a little bit fried by all this. Hey, let's look into the last essential maneuver you'll need to learn, lowering our orbit. As you can imagine, lowering your orbits is very much like raising it, only in reverse. Because there's no air up here, we can use our main engines to decelerate as well as accelerate. Because nothing says we have to be facing some direction or another. Okay. Since our orbit is nearly circular, we can just turn retrograde down. We can just turn retrograde into our burn at any time now. Turn to retrograde. And once it's there, turn those engines up again. And it should be going smaller. Until it's around 20,000. Try getting as close as possible. If you overshoot and get it too low, turn prograde and accelerate again. For precision, remember you can fine-tune your throttle using the left control and the left shift keys. I want to make sure I remember which is which. Uh... 20,000 meters is low enough to be in the atmosphere. So now you're on a re-entry course to Kerbal. Once we're below 60 meters, the atmosphere will start slowing the ship down, so you won't have the velocity to rise back up again. This is the end of our lesson now. You continue doing maneuvers on your own, or wait for Periopsis and do a re-entry and land. Don't forget to decouple the capsule and deploy the parachutes. Brah. Warp there. Okay. That was a warp. Cool, so we should be... If we hit him... Yep! Okay. Well, thank God that actually worked. I was worried that that was going to stick to me. And we are going to land... somewhere. On land. And... Dog... Sorry, I have a dog who is just all over me right now. By which I mean she fell asleep underneath me, and she pretends like she's running during her sleep. I think if it gets all the way full, that's when it's a bad thing. So as long as it doesn't get all the way full, and it looks like... we might be running out. So yeah, we're gonna land... somewhere on here. That's cool. I'm glad I finally know how to turn this thing on, the SAS system. I hope I don't need anything special to actually use it. So yeah, that's the bit of debris that I got rid of. And it actually, I didn't think about that, it actually still has the rockets on. That's why it was still taking off so fast. Didn't really explain to me when the best time to pull the parachute is. So we're just gonna go... Oops. We're just gonna die. So we had too much friction. I'm assuming that was still just too much friction. Oh hey look, there's like trees and stuff. Well, let's see what this looks like when we crash. Yeah, the parachute thing, I'm gonna have to figure out how not to burn all of my parachutes. Because, yeah, Well, okay. So, 2.5 hours in, I finally know how to crash